Okay, so here is my complete Eldrazi deck. I went ahead and went with Kozilek Butcher of Truth because he just does all kinds of things. Draws me cards, has a big body, wipes the opponent's fields, and cycles my graveyard back to my deck. Whereas Ulamog just kind of sits on the field and tears up my opponent's library. Which is cool, but the main threat's on the field, not the library, so yeah. Kozilek is a little bit better. Now I run only 2 wastes instead of whatever, I think it was 32. So I run those. Then I have all the Urza lands. Reliquary Tower, Mystifying Maze, Eldrazi Temple, Inventor's Fair, Nephalia Academy, Tomb of the Spirit Dragon, Endless Sands, Buried Ruin. Now, of course, some of these are kind of maybe just a little bit useful, or maybe not even useful at all, but I pretty much just got these for just at least something to do rather than just have a waste. Some of them have pretty cool features, they're pretty useful. Some I don't even use at all. And just about every one of my cards are pretty much foil now. So, yeah. Arcane Lighthouse, gotta have that. Just little things here and there. Help me do stuff, help me, I don't even know, just little tricks, I guess. Nothing really game changing or stalling or anything too much. At least not these lands. But I have, I think, there's either 35 or 36 lands altogether. See, like this right here, I never even use it. I never used this. But it's there, you know, just in case I do, you know, need something, whatever. In case I actually need it. I never used this before. Of course, I use that all the time. That comes in the battle working. Those are my lands, so next up is my artifacts. Now for artifacts, it's mostly mana pumping, like this. Taps for 2, 3. Lets me draw cards, look at cards, kind of trying to set my deck a little bit on the top. But most of it's mana pumping. Or I guess land fetches, and there's only one though, it's just that. Got a little bit of untapping, so that way I can get things like that Mono Vault up for just 1 instead of having to pay like 3 or 4, whatever that was. I think it's 4, yeah, 4. Trying to get no hand limit. Mind Stone, a little bit of draw. Lotus Blossom, trying to get mana as time goes on. And Grim Monolith, more big mana coming in. Howling Mine for drawing cards. Scroll Rack, looking through the top of my deck some more. Trying to get things in my hand that I actually need. More mana pumping. More mana pumping. Sculpting Steel. Try to get out, you know, copy a good artifact on the field. Chiron Toy, just more mana. Temple Bell for more drawing. Unwinding Clock to untap my artifacts so I can, reset them to pump in more mana and cast more spells. Hedron Archive, more mana. Quicksilver Amulet, pump out creatures. Nevinriel's Disc to wipe the field if it needs to be. Phyrexian Processor is a new card I just got. I figured, why not throw this in there, have a big giant body, and possibly swing for a win. So yeah, that's why this would be in there. Or defend myself if I don't have a creature. Or they keep dying. So I'll just keep, paying for that and keep just getting big giant bodies out. More drawing. Mana. More mana. Now I'm not done foiling all these cards. I'm going to foil every single one, but, and all the ones that I can, or that I can afford. Turning all my non-land, pretty much my spells into flash. Very nice. I've used that once and it just totally ruined my entire opponent's plans. Untapping more permanents. More mana. Pretty much a really overpowered tutoring card. Expensive, but it's very strong. If you can actually afford to pay all that, which in this deck you can. Then my artifact equipments. Of course I have this. Obviously I have this. And then I found this, which has a flip for mana. Puts tokens on the field, increases my creature's attacks. Then if I can swing, it flips into this. For tapping for 3 more mana, so it's a big giant mana pump. And then on to pretty much all my other spells, because now it's just going to break up for a little. So we have my only sorcery card in this deck. Giant board wipe that affects only my opponents. Because I have no colored things. Well, except for the tokens. That I just was seeing green tokens and there's black tokens. But other than that, my main stuff won't be destroyed, so that's all that really matters. One of my planeswalkers, obviously you gotta have Karn in there. Exile stuff, restarting games, pretty much winning. If you can restart the game, pretty much win. Ugin is usually a total game changer. Wiping the opponent's field, burning them out, then getting its ultimate off for pretty much game. Unless your opponent's way too far ahead, I guess. It's possible to lose, I don't know. I've never lost with him out. Then you got my creatures, Eldrazi Mimic. Just copies, colorless creatures stats. Metal Worker, a very huge mana pump. Especially with the ability to untap him with that one card, I forgot what it was called. But that one card that taps for 1. Then this, Eternal Scourge, you pretty much just a creature. Then you have Palladium Mirror for mana. Filigree Familiar for life gain, but mostly for drawing a card. It's pretty much the only reason I really have him. Other than he's a cheap body. To block my opponent's creatures or whatever. Matter Shaper, really nice. Thought Not Seer, really good card. Warden of Geometries. Pretty decent in battle with Vigilance. If your opponent don't have any creatures out. Can also tap for a mana. Stuffy Doll to protect you from your opponent's big creature. Non-flying creature. Creepy Doll, trying to kill your opponent's non-flying creatures. 50% chance depending on the flip of your coin. Reality Smasher, it's like my only haste creature I have. So it's only my only fast creature. Comes in swinging. Kozilek's Channeler, just for mana. Oblivion Sower. More mana stuff. Pretty decent if that glare wouldn't just get out of my way. Pretty decent body for defense. Conduit of Ruin, just a tutoring card for a creature. Helps cast things faster. The Steel Dragon Monkey. This right here is this is a game changer too if your opponent's not going to be able to block him. As long as your opponent can't block him or doesn't want to block this, pretty nice game changer. Wormcoil Engine, very intimidating on the field. It's got Death Touch and Lifelink. Duplicates himself when he's dead. Endbringer's pretty nice. It's got a lot of different things it can do. And untaps during each of your opponent's untap steps, so constantly being able to use him. Bane of Bala Ged, pretty nice little creature to swing with. Cloud Empyrean, making you invincible. Hopefully they don't, destroy him with artifact destruction stuff. Or creature destruction, but elsewise he's really good. For stalling. Ulamog's Crusher, a nice little board wipe with the big body. Breaker of Armies, a really nice card for these, breaking up your opponent's creatures. Hopefully killing all of them and you not dying. Also good at getting in a specific win condition I have in this deck. Eldrazi Devastator, just a big body. An 8/9 trample, just something to run your opponent into. Run into your opponent or your opponent's creatures, block them. Another really big body, Artisan of Kozilek, got an Annihilator 2, revives creatures, so very nifty. Void Winnower, shut your opponent down. Got a nice 11/9 on him. Shut your opponent's even spells off from blocking or being cast. Really nice card. Then of course you have my Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger. Comes in, exiling stuff. Stays on the field for a long time, if not the whole time. And tears your opponent's deck up. Pathrazer of Ulamog. Really, really nice. Annihilator 3. Can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. Big body. Very nice card. Tears your opponent straight up. For reals, though. It that Betrays is also really nice. You get all your opponent's non-token permanents that they are sacrificing. No matter who's doing it, who's causing them to sacrifice, you're going to be getting them. It's got a really big body. And he has Annihilator too, so yeah. Every time he swings, you're going to be getting stuff. One of my win conditions for that I was talking about. With Breaker of Armies, swing these two into your opponent. This guy automatically connects. And yeah, you win with Infect. Trample, Infect, Indestructible. When it dies, it goes to the library instead of the grave. Hopefully they don't just exile him though. And then lastly, Emrakul, the Promised End. Very huge body, actually the biggest body in my entire deck. Like the one of 2 only flying creatures I have. Got Trample, Protection from Instants, can be cast a little cheaper than normal. Which doesn't really matter too much because I can pretty much get this out like on turn 4. I get my commander out on around turn 4 or 5 like every single game. Just about. But yeah, that's my complete Eldrazi deck. Having Kozilek as the commander now. And I usually win every single game. I don't think I really lose anymore. Like at all. I used to lose maybe pretty much never. Now I really lose never. The only reason I ever lost was because instant kills. There's instant milling and instant kill with combos. But other than that, this deck really never lost at all so far.